going to be discussing The Cuckoo Clock by Wesley Barefoot. Now, this is an extremely short story, really quick read, but I was extremely impressed with it. It was a pretty good story, and a lot of the things I typically really enjoy about storytelling were not in this one, so I'm actually really surprised I liked it. Before I continue, we're going to give you a brief synopsis. So, these two parents have 3 children, biological children, and kind of an adopted one. The situation had been that their adopted daughter, Joanna, had been dropped off by her mother, Helen, saying, hey, I'm going to come back for her after I get moved and settled into my new job and just kind of relocating and restarting life. So she was going to come back for her, only for them to receive in the mail that from a coroner's office that she had passed away, an article about the accident, and requesting funeral expenses. So they sent the funeral expenses and kind of are stuck with this daughter. Not that they don't love her or care about her, but, so they just take her in. She's part of their family, and one by one, their own children end up dying, tragically, from playing alone with Joanna. Eventually, all of their biological children pass away, and Joanna is the only one that's left. So they start kind of realizing this, and they're kind of mysterious, but then they feel bad, like, oh man, why are we thinking like this? It's not Joanna's fault that these accidents happen. Their kids were just being kids, whatever. Until one day, the husband looks at the cuckoo clock, and he's like, what if this is like a cuckoo bird situation? Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the cuckoo bird situation, cuckoo birds lay their eggs in other birds' nests and make other birds raise their children, while they go off free as a bird, literally, to do whatever they want and not have to have the burden of raising this child or their infant. So the husband starts looking into the disappearance of this Helen, or the death of this Helen. First he goes and talks to his lawyer, and his lawyer's like, you gotta find more proof, like, that this lady's, just dropped off her kid and isn't dead. You gotta find more proof than just a suspicion. And also, you gotta find more proof that this daughter's actually killing off your young. So, he goes to the town that this Helen allegedly had moved to and started a job at to find out. She's befriended a local coroner, so she had access to stationery. She and a couple of friends bought a building and started an LLC for a mortuary. And he finds where she used to live or where she was boarding and talks to the landlady. And the landlady says basically one Monday she just up and left, and confirms his suspicions that she is not in fact dead, that the whole thing is faked. And then he talks to that local newspaperman and says, yeah, this article was not written by us. This could be done at any other printer who can throw together stuff on a linotype. So, this article is fake. So he returns home with all this information and kind of goes into Joanna's bedroom, and she brainwashes him. Yeah. Sorry I didn't tell you spoiler alert just then. But yeah, it's really well done. So now, the end of the story is basically him not recalling why he went into Joanna's room and going down and having a drink with his wife. And they're stuck with this child. So yeah, really good story. Really well built. It's mostly dialogue. There isn't a lot of environmental, scene setting. It's predominantly dialogue, so which is unusual. I usually really like world building, but this story was so short and so compelling for how short it was. I didn't miss not knowing settings. I didn't miss those details at all. So I was super impressed. Really impressed with this one. Really loved it. Highly recommend it. Quick read. It's just a really good kind of sci-fi fantasy feeling story, but within the context of, the 1950s, it feels like it's kind of written in. So, really, really interesting. Totally recommend it. Can't wait to hear what Greg thinks. So yeah, we'll see you back.
I've already watched the footage of Emily's review of the Cuckoo Clock, and I can't really dispute anything she says. It's not a bad story. It is everything she says, but it just didn't grab me. I found it predictable. I saw the ending coming from the very beginning of the story. It just didn't surprise me. It didn't shock me. It didn't horrify me. It didn't grab me. It didn't really engage me. And so I didn't really care for it. And that's really all I can say. I can't give you any specific reasons why you should not read this story. The things that Emily says about it are true, and she loved it. But I just didn't. Maybe it's because I've read a lot of stories like this, starting with It's a Good Life by Jerome Bixby, which of course is the classic story of this sort, of the evil child. And that one is brilliant. That's a really, really great story. This one just didn't do it. Sorry. I can't recommend it. Emily does recommend it. Go with whichever one of us you like better. And let us know what you think. We're kind of divided on this one.
If you liked it, subscribe. Tell us if you've ever read it. Tell us when you read it what you thought. Do your thing. We'll see you next time.